Hopefully this one doesn't turn. I had to swap the battery, so I got the one that died charging, and I got this one going. So
Okay.
hopefully I don't got any other problems.
I'm only giving you until that one dies.
Ah,
When it dies,
fuck.
that's when this podcast is over.
Fuck you!
Down the attack! Use your feet!
Did you see the last tweet I sent you? I guess episode 8. There's another major time jump.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
What did it say? Like 3 to 4 years or something like that?
I didn't see a year. I just saw
Maybe I could have made that up if it got specific, but
maybe I don't remember that, but maybe it was. I just thought it was interesting because I didn't expect that.
yeah. Well, speaking of the time jump, so what did you think of new Rhaenyra and new Alicent?
I mean, they were okay.
Oh, they didn't tickle your fancy?
I mean, it's just different, you know. It's fine.
It is almost
guess,
new characters, kind of, because they're like so adult and doing different things. Like,
well, but I mean, honestly, Rhaenyra looked older, but Alicent, I mean, she didn't look that much older to me. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, I could see that. Alicent looked like 5 years older, maybe, and Rhaenyra looked about 10 years older.
Yeah, which I mean, it's not a big deal. Like, it was still good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's just different. But I thought Laenor looked 20 fucking years.
Oh my
old.
God, yeah, he looked kind of bad too. Honestly,
I was
he looked like he's been through some
This guy
shit.
looks like he's 40 years old. All of a sudden.
Speaking of looking horrible,
Could have
Jesus
just got Gus
Christ.
Fring to play him. You know.
That would have been dope if all of a sudden a time jump and he's her fucking husband. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't think of his name in there.
Giancarlo Esposito.
That guy.
But what about that scene in the opening with Rhaenyra giving birth? That really juicy sounding scene.
I know they really cranked up the sound effects this episode. Jeez.
Yeah. Like
that, and then when the baby dragon blasted the goat, I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, like with this, I'm like sitting there. I went and got some ice cream, so I'm like eating ice cream in the beginning of the episode. It's like, oh come on, can we stop with this shit? Like, fuck. I mean, it's not like they showed anything, but it's just like, fuck.
Yeah, it is interesting too. We got 2 birthing scenes this episode, and with Daemon and his wife, it was kind of like Viserys in the first episode.
Oh yeah, it totally was. But see, I personally don't think he was going to do it. I don't think he was going to have them cut the baby out.
Oh, yeah. No, I think Daemon actually, like, really cared for her.
Yeah.
As much as she seemed to think he didn't, I think he did. Because I even saw, too, there was a scene, not that this meant he cared for her more, but there was a scene, I guess, of him consoling the kids, like him hugging the girls and all that they cut out.
Yeah, I saw it. It got cut out, yeah. I saw that, too. I saw a lot of people were pissed off that they cut that out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it makes sense because it seems like they want, like, to me, the point got across that he cares for the kids and that he just has a bad way of showing it. But I can see that for some people, them needing to see that.
Which, I mean, but I mean, in all reality, I mean, that happens. Like, there are plenty of dads out there that I'm sure love their kids to death, but just are terrible at showing that they love them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's human.
Yeah. So this is
realistic.
This is how I think it's gonna go with Rhaenyra, Daemon, and Laenor. So they're all going. Okay. They're all going to Dragonstone now.
Correct.
Daemon's wife dies. So I'm assuming he's gonna eventually. I don't know. Maybe next episode or one after. I don't know. But I think eventually he'll go to Dragonstone too. Something will happen, and Laenor will either disappear or Daemon will kill him or something, and maybe that's how they. And then they start hooking up having kids. Because I know they're gonna start banging at some point. I don't know if it'll be behind Laenor's back or in front of his face, I guess, because he might not care. But I feel like something's going to happen when Daemon's in the picture to get rid of Laenor, I feel like.
It would seem that he wouldn't care because apparently he just goes off and does guys and boys all the time.
I had a question about that,
all
too.
the time.
Do you think, because the guys we've seen in both episodes, he was training with, and then that ended up being his boyfriend or whatever it was.
Right.
So do you think he only finds guys that are good at swordsmen,
Carl.
or do you think that he teaches them good fighting skills, and so that way they could train with him during the day as like a cover-up?
I mean, that might be. It could be. I mean, honestly, it's probably both.
I guess it probably does just
I don't.
depend on what happens too, like where he's at, how they find each other.
I mean, me personally, I don't know any guy or girl who, just is banging people just to bang people. I mean, I feel like most people want to at least try to find the person attractive.
Hey, we don't. Maybe him and this guy will fall in endless love together. We don't know.
It's very possible. Sir Carl.
Yeah, Sir Carl. Sir, it is Carl, but spelled Coral. Is that how it is?
Yeah, it's like QARL.
Okay, because they called him with the subtitles it looked like Coral, but they called him Carl, and that kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, is every guy a sir? Is that the thing? So I would be like Sir Josh.
I'm guessing you're a sir unless like you're like really down low, then you're just like some kind of peasant or something, you know?
I mean that would definitely not be the case, but I mean,
Yeah. No, you'd be King Joshua the first.
8th.
Oh, the 8th. Okay.
Remember King? You're Jerome Quirian.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Here we go again. Queen of the Horse.
Oh goodness gracious!
I was a little surprised that the episode was so slow, for like being like kind of like another pilot, like we talked about when we were texting about it.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly a little slow, which I mean I didn't mind because it's like whatever, I'm gonna watch every episode regardless and all that, obviously. But it surprised me a little bit.
It was pretty slow. There was one point where I had Abby hit the pause button, and I'm like, 35 minutes.
Oh
left?
yeah. No, Nick told me before it started that it was like
me?
an hour and 10 or an hour and like it was over an hour at least, and something.
I
like
didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Nick sent me something about it like 15 minutes before it started, and I was like, oh cool, it's a longer one.
Well, he texted me, and he was like, we're starting House of the Dead, because we were texting about a football game. He's like, we're starting House of the Dead, and I was like, on football Sunday, because I took a nap yesterday, and he was like, on football Sunday, and so when he said we're starting House of the Dragon, I'm like, on football Sunday, and he's like, we always started at 6:00. I'm like, I go, you're cool. I go, I was just fucking with you.
There's no other time in this house that we will start House of the Dragon. Okay.
He's like,
dragon, you dumb cunt.
He's like, unless it's like the Rams or like some teams that I care about. He's like, 6:00 if the show's on. He's like, I don't care.
No, it's
I go, I'm just fucking with you. I go, I don't really give a shit. I go, I just thought I could get a jab back at you.
Well, it's funny because in the morning he was morning afternoon he was at Mima's watching the football game, but the day before he told me he was gonna go. I was like, "Are you gonna be home for House of the Dragon?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I will be."
Yeah. Well, apparently he was. So apparently he was.
So let's see. What did you think about? You go first.
Let's address the thing that Allison apparently did not find a big deal. Okay? Mr. I'm going to just jack off out the window.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't she say a word about him being like...
That looks like...
I'm just like, are you kidding, right? Like, we're kidding? She didn't address
She's just
that?
like, whose plan was that? That's it.
She's just pissed off that he doesn't want to be king. And that he needs to get his shit together. And not one mention of,
I had a hard on this morning.
Maybe don't choke the chicken overlooking the whole fucking kingdom. You fucking pervert. What the fuck is this? Golly, dude.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
this is insane. Insane.
No, so do you know who David Tennant is?
I mean, I know the name.
His son plays that guy that was jerking off.
Right.
That kid. So I was excited to watch this episode just to see him, just to see like what he's liking it. But just to see like what he was liking it, because like I was excited to see his kid in there, and then he starts jerking off out the window, and I'm like, oh great, now I'm watching David Tennant's kid jerk off. That's not what I expected to see on a Sunday.
Yeah, apparently you were excited for nothing. I was trying to find this tweet. I don't know. It's funny. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like they cut it from like a porno or something, but it's like a chick like walking down the sidewalk and like she's like covered in cum, and it was like it was like peasants in King's Landing. Like her whole face was just covered in gum. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'll send it to you right now.
That dude's dingus in his mouth.
Yeah. It says commoners after Aegon Targaryen beat his meat out the window. She's just like walking down the street.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, how often does that kid jerk off out his window and just come on random people walking down the street, or like a bird flying by or something?
But see, I mean, aren't they? I assume that they're all like they're in closed quarters. Like, there's not just random people. There's probably like guards and like like of high, people who are there to protect them, but not.
Yeah. When that kid killed himself in Game of Thrones when he jumped out that window? I don't remember his name.
Joffrey.
No, it wasn't. It was his brother, wasn't it? Yeah, because Joffrey got.
Supposedly that's the same window though that the kid jumped out.
Yeah. What did we see him smash on the floor? We just saw him fall out the window, huh?
I think we just saw him fall out the window. Yeah, we didn't see him.
Because I was gonna say if we saw him fall on the floor, we would know the surrounding area where the jizz would be.
But I would assume that they're within the walls. That they're not just amongst the commoners.
Maybe one day he could play a game like with his girl. Like she'll walk by and open her mouth like right under his window, and he'll come out his window right in her mouth.
It's possible.
Or imagine if she was down below spread eagle, and like you could be like, "Yo, I fucking impregnated my girl through the window way up there."
Right. Your mind goes some places. Let me tell you. Jiminy crickets.
This guy. Imagine what that kid would be like if he was conceived that way. He'd be a
wild stallion. I feel like he would be no different than anyone else.
I think that kid would either be a menace to society, or he'd be like the hero we need.
Right. A little Dennis the Menace action. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it boggled my mind that she didn't say anything. At all. I was just like, wow.
No, yeah, she really cared more about him not wanting to be king, him like just getting back at Rhaenyra, like all this other
being friends with Rhaenyra's kids.
Yeah, it almost she cared less about. Yeah, mad that he was friends with Rhaenyra's kids.
Yeah,
she cared less about him jerking off or even bullying his little brother. She's just like, no, asshole, get your shit together and be king.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure people already know how he comes into it or gets it, but I don't. I haven't read the books. I haven't looked ahead or anything like that. So I'll be interested to see. And I'll be interested to see if he takes over before the first season's over.
Yeah, because I know like little like TikTok spoilers of random shit.
Right.
But I'm really curious on like what the ending moment of this season's gonna be. Like, will it be someone else being king? Will it be just Viserys dying?
Well, because like this isn't for the entire book, right? This is just part of it.
Yeah, this is just. I think the show will be about 4 seasons for the book.
Well, that's what that tweet said that I sent earlier. It said that right now they're planning to run it for 3 to 4 seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
So so you figure 3 to 4 seasons. That's 30 to 40 episodes, and I think Nick said it was like 700 and something pages or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
who knows where they'll leave off.
Well, and also, I think there's 3 books in that time period though too, so they could go to other shit too. So they could, if they wanted to, they could probably stretch it out for a while.
That is interesting. I didn't see Sir Harwin Strong fathering some children. I did not see that coming.
We talked about that last week, and we were a little confused on who he was and whatnot. I thought he was the guy that ended up being her baby daddy, but I wasn't sure. So then when they walked into the house, I was like, oh, he is the fucking baby daddy. So I was a little bit into that, but I also saw some spoilers.
You were. He was also the one who caught her. When her and Damon went, and she was like, "Don't say anything." That was him. So he was in the King's
right
Guard.
Right there, he got like her sex drive whiff in that hallway, and was like, "Fuck, I gotta impregnate this chick down the line in like 10 years or something. At least I'll have 3 kids with her."
3 of them, yeah.
Jesus, I thought that was gonna be her first kid in the opening. And then she gets home and she has multiple kids, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't expect this. Okay.
I didn't expect that either. But yeah, I mean, Harwin's gone. That quick.
Yeah, no, that surprised me that him and his dad both gone.
Yeah.
And then
what was his father's name?
Fuck, I don't know. I just always saw him and went,
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Keep
and then all that's left is just his slimy little brother, just out
Lionel.
there like
Lionel.
Lionel's the brother, or is that the dad?
That's the dad, Lord Lionel.
What's the guy that killed him? His son.
Well, that's Laris.
Laris. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's kind of a little shitbag, ain't he?
Oh yeah, he's a piece. He's a piece. Hold on here. Laris.
He's a piece.
He's a piece of dog shit. No, but somebody said that like he is a mixture of Littlefinger and somebody else.
The guy with no dick that people thought was a mermaid. That probably doesn't help you at all. But
I know who you're talking about.
The bald guy.
His name. I know who you're.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it's been a while.
I know. I think when this is done, I might rewatch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but they're saying that he's the new.
Yeah, like
Littlefinger, Peter Baelish.
Do you think he's doing that to like get into power and just control things, or do you think it's like I kind of like Allison?
I mean, it might be a mixture of both. I mean, I was talking to Craig at work today about this, and like I told him if it was me, like I wouldn't have a hand, and he's like, you have to have a hand.
So I know you can keep talking. My camera just got a little for a second.
He was like, you have to have a hand. I go, I don't have to have a hand. I go, I don't fucking trust anyone to be a hand.
I know that would be hard. You have to know the person so well to make them your hand.
But even then, people power gets into their head. They become greedy. Yeah. They want more power, and I mean, they know all of your deepest and darkest secrets and like everything. So it's like fuck that. Like I would have a council, but I wouldn't want a hand.
I get that. I feel like it's inevitable, unless you get really lucky. It's inevitable your hand or someone like that right next to you is just gonna fuck you over.
Seems to be the theme in all the everything we've seen. And and to me, like I was telling you last night, in the next it looks like Otto is back as hand.
Yeah.
In the next episode.
Well, even
and that's what I think Lars was doing is that he wanted his dad back.
Yeah, because the first thing he said was like, "Are you gonna call your dad back now?" or whatever.
Yeah, Allison. That's why he did it. Basically, I didn't know this going in, but like, he's like a bumblebee or like a.
Oh yeah, I saw that his symbol's a hornet or something like that. Or no, a firefly. A firefly.
Firefly. He's like her guiding light or something like that. I'm like, meh.
I was surprised that she was so like distraught and hurt that those two died and that he did that and that it was her fault kind of, and she's like, I didn't ask for this and all that, and then he's like, well, you will what did he say, you will repay me in someday, or you will reward me someday. I hope
you pay to repay me someday or something.
What do you think that will be like? Do you like?
I'm sure he'll have. I mean, she's indebted to him.
Yeah,
so, I mean, that's just one of those like it's in my back pocket. When I need you, I'm gonna call on you, and you can't say no. So I mean,
he's the Godfather now.
It's something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's super shitty. I mean, I don't know. She, I don't like her. I really don't like her at all.
No, this episode, I was like, I like the actress that plays her, but I was like, fuck, Allison's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean,
Sir Kristen Cole's a little asshole too.
Oh,
the whole training scene. Oh my god, I wanted to be fucking what's his name and just beat the shit out of him.
Harwin.
Yeah, I wanted to be him.
I know. Abby was upset that Harwin's gone. She's like, he's the best looking one.
I mean, yeah, isn't he last week? Isn't that who you read? You said he'd eat your pussy and all that.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember you read it? It was some tweet about him. You're like this, and the last thing was like, he'll eat your pussy.
Yeah. Well, he was they introduced him quick, and he left quick.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I thought going back to him real quick, I thought it was when he was leaving after he been basically exiled. His kid was like, Is that my dad?
Yeah, is that my father? We look. I like that too. When they finally eventually tell Damon about that, and he's like, "Does he bear like he is? Does he look like Holland?"
Yeah.
Basically, like I like that everybody, and no matter where they're at, is like, her kids look just like this guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, and then jumping back to Kristen Cole, totally just like an emotional roller coaster wreck.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like he goes, like he wants Rhaenyra to run away with him to a land with oranges and cinnamon sticks, on a boat with oranges and cinnamon sticks or something, and then he gets upset and kills her husband's boyfriend, and then is going to kill himself and is now guarding the queen and just riding her coattails.
Yeah, no,
I was hoping Harwin was going to kill him. I really was.
Me too, honestly. It almost felt too. I thought he was just gonna he wanted to get the shit kicked out of him, but then it was like, oh no,
he was totally just baiting him.
Yeah,
but it didn't matter because King Viserys was not. He's not believing it, regardless.
No, I liked how it just kept cutting up to his reactions up there. Him be like, "Oh my god!" Like at first he's like, "Oh yay, the boys are training together," and then he's like, "Wait, what's happening? Bad things are happening down there."
Yeah. Well, it was. I mean, pretty shitty the way he was training him. Mm-hmm. I mean, the other kid was clearly at a disadvantage. So.
I feel bad for all of Rhaenyra's kids. I feel like they're all just gonna end up dying. Like they're all just fucked or something. I mean, who knows? But it doesn't seem like they're going to have great luck.
It's possible. They don't have a problem killing off anybody.
Nick was telling me, I don't remember what it was, but he's like, it'll be interesting if the show does some crazy shit like that's in the books. Like, I think he's talking about kids dying and being ripped apart and all this shit. And I was like, that'll be pretty gnarly, but I mean, supposedly the show's supposed to be like the books.
I thought Little Man was going to get eaten by the little dragon. Oh,
that'd have been dope. Which also, I thought that was interesting that they said that. So when a Targaryen or whoever, they got dragon blood, whoever, they get an egg, and sometimes the eggs don't hatch. So then you have to have another way to find a dragon. I thought that was really interesting. I never knew that, and that's how she got Rhaegar, and then Rhaegar ended up killing her or whatever. But
well, he didn't want to.
Yeah,
you could tell.
That was such a cool scene because earlier
he was like, "What? I'm not doing that."
Yeah, earlier she was like, "I want to have a dragon rider's death." Yeah. So I thought that was really cool for her just to walk out there and be like, "Dracarys," and the dragon's like, "No, bitch, please don't make me do it."
But I mean, why not let him cut your daughter out first and then do it?
I mean, didn't they say that they didn't know if there was great chances? I mean, I guess they should try, but wasn't there not chances of them both just dying right away? Isn't that what that dude said?
It was something of that nature, but I mean, it is what it is. It's her decision, so I don't quite care.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's a show, so it's fake.
That's true. So we have. Oh, what the fuck? My cameras actually hate me. Okay, we'll just go off the Zoom for this last bit because we only have 6 minutes until we have to wrap up anyways.
Oh boy.
But so I'm gonna look up the name of this thing again that Nick wants me to have you read. So while I do that, is there any last things that you want to say about House of the Dragon?
I don't think so. It was a slow episode, but I mean, I liked it. It's interesting how this will be interesting. But I liked it. I like how everything kind of always figures a way to mesh together and pull everything together because it was super slow and there were times where I'm going, okay, I'm done with this today. I'll just watch this shit tomorrow or another time because it's just oh my god,
No, because I rewatched it before we do the podcast and shit, and I was like, okay. There was a couple I was like, I'm just gonna fast forward this part a little bit because Jesus Christ. But it's always entertaining the first time, but there is some stuff in this that's a little slow, and you're like, all right, well, I'll probably fast forward that on my second time watch or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then again, as I said, I feel like I've said every time we've potted. I'm looking forward to next Sundays.
Yeah, no, me too. It's especially when Sunday starts getting close to 6 o'clock. I'm like, oh fuck, Game of Thrones, baby.
Well, the nice thing for me is I have football, so the day goes by pretty quick.
And then you get right to Game of Thrones.
Pretty much just watch 2 football games, and it's 6 o'clock for the most part. Not quite, but two and a half football games. So it goes pretty quick.
Oh, okay. So this is a request by Nick. He wants you to look up on Urban Dictionary, I believe, a Colorado campfire, and
God.
let us know if you and Abby will be trying that out, is his request.
I'm just going to go ahead and say no.
I don't know. You might not want to say no before you try it. It could be a cool, new, fun thing for y'all to try. Who knows?
Why do I feel like this? I've seen this somewhere.
You might have. Okay.
A Colorado campfire.
Go ahead.
Is the act of stuffing a marshmallow up a girl's asshole and then proceeding to fuck the marshmallow deeply inside her like one was loading an old Civil War musket. Then upon finishing inside said asshole, the female is asked to evacuate the contents upon 2 eagerly waiting graham crackers. It is considered rude if the cracker is not consumed afterwards. Last night, my girlfriend made me give her a Colorado campfire. It was delicious.
Oh, boy.
No, that will not be happening.
Ah, man, really?
Nicholas, you dirty, disgusting, vile sack of dog shit.
I was in here editing the other day, and he came in here, stopped me, and he's like, hold on, Google a Colorado campfire, and you have to read this to Hess next week. And I was like, oh, I'll have him read it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's quite disgusting, if I must say so.
How does that even, I get people get weird with sex, but who's like, I'm gonna come in a marshmallow and put it in your ass and put it on a crack? How does that even...
I could not tell you where that came from, where that originated. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of things that are related to that I've never heard of.
That's true.
There's never even fathomed. But they're there. They're out there.
I mean, at least there's no, I guess it's the asshole. I was going to say there's no poop involved, but there's probably some poop involved.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's basically a s'more.
Yeah. Oh, and her poop's the chocolate on the s'more.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
And then you got marshmallow mixed with your jizz. So. Yeah. That's quite awesome.
Is there any last things you want to say to the people out there in the world, or maybe even the aliens? What if there's an alien listening to this?
If you're in Florida, I hope you made it out safe. I hope you are safe. Hurricane Ian barreling down.
If there is
stay safe.
If there's a hurricane called Hurricane Hess, would you root for it or would you be against it?
I've always said this, and I know it's fucked up, but I want a Hurricane Hess or Hurricane Josh to be the most destructive hurricane in history.
I get that 100. If there's Hurricane Jerome out there, I'd be like, oh, come on. You got to be badass. Come on. Yeah. Be like the worst hurricane of all time, please.
Like I say, it's a terrible thing, but yeah.
That's funny.
Terrible person, I guess.
Well, it's basically hypothetical because when's that going to happen?
No, it's not. There will not be a Hurricane Hess.
At least,
unless I go work for the National Weather Service or something, and I pay somebody to name it that or something.
Maybe the day you die, there will be a Hurricane Hess, and it's you.
Maybe.
This is just a little thing to think about.
I don't know. Hopefully, that'll be a long time from now. So we'll see.
Well, if anybody out there, if you hear about a Hurricane Hess, check and see if Joshua Hess died.
Yeah, check Pleeka to see if I'm gone.
I'm doing House of Dragon by myself today. Hurricane Hess is going wild.
Yeah, they go in alphabetical order. So they're an I.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought they just kind of willy-nilly picked a name.
H. So they already had an H this year, and
damn.
Yeah. Tropical storm season's pretty much done.
All right, well, we have less than a minute, it says. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, check out our Instagram, TikTok, Clip
Stay
channel.
safe in Florida.
And stay safe in Florida. Watch out for Hurricane Hess, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.